Hello, comic book junkies. It's the Frog Queen here, and today I'm coming at you with another comic book review, sort of. So today I'm talking about Reaver. Yes, Reaver. The last issue of the second story arc comes out next week, next Wednesday. So I'm really excited to talk about this because I've been really enjoying Reaver a lot. Now, a lot of you know that I love Justin Jordan's work, but I haven't got to really talk about Reaver yet. So, I mention it here and there, of course, because I've been reading it. But we are into the second story arc, and this is a brutal fantasy. So think along the lines of even Game of Thrones or Berserk from the wonderful, very long-running manga Berserk. I feel like it's been around forever now. Almost as long as I've been alive. I think it started in like 88 or something, so that's outrageous. But first, let's just enjoy these gorgeous covers by Becky Clowden. So I realized that I forgot to grab off my desk over there before I got started. I thought I was holding it, but this is 2, 3, and 4 of the second story arc. I meant to grab the first one as well, but I won't. I already started the video. I gotta continue. Anyway, gosh, I just love how she made Rakala look feminine and evil. Like she's gorgeous and disturbing because of all the blood at the same time. But I think what I like most about this story arc is that we get to see Rakala as more than a one-dimensional character. Because in the first, I want to say season, in the first story arc, Rakala is a scary person. She's a skin eater, right? She's a cannibal, and she's fearsome, and she's a loner, and she's known as kind of like this sort of tribe of people called the Riel. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Riel or Riel, but they're tribes of people. They're actually all different tribes of people outside of the imperialists in the imperial city. So they're known as kind of like the wildlings of this story. But there's all different tribes, very similar in that way to many other brutal fantasies and non-brutal fantasies alike. But Rakala becomes a very multi-dimensional character here, and we get to see that she's not a monster, which you don't really get to see much of at all in the first story arc, unless you consider her actions at the very end of the first story arc, of course. Which a lot of people were just like, she's dead, she's gone. That's awful, but she's gone. And I was like, no, she's definitely not gone. I could just tell. I was like, she's not dead. But yes, you get to see like this more multifaceted character. It's like all the different things that embody Rakala, and I think that might be the main reason I like this story arc better than the first. Not only that, though, this story arc centralizes on her and Essen, Essen. He's called the Devil's Son. That's his like nickname, right? And let me just get a lovely picture so you know who I'm talking about. Oh, without spoiling it, I won't show you the last one. Oh my gosh, I always like go show you the last page. I'm like, that's going to spoil everything. Asin Breaker, I believe his name is. Breaker. Anyway, he's the giant man, the giant, terrifying man, known as the Devil's Son. He had sworn oath to stop hurting people and killing people. That doesn't go so well for him, though. And this whole story kind of centralizes on going back to his roots, where he was from, his family, and everything like that. So he runs into Rakala, obviously. She's on the cover of issue 8. So 9 and 10, these covers are just so great. Now, the second story arc has a different artist, but Nico Heinrich, is fantastic. As you can see, there's some really creepy stuff going on. So children are being stolen, and I won't tell you why because it'll spoil things, but that's the whole central point, is Essene and Rakala are going after the source of where the children are being stolen to. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Golden Compass and his dark materials, whereas children are also kind of the subject matter being stolen and taken away, and you know. So it kind of has those vibes going on, except much more brutal, much more violent, much more deadly. Yeah, so that's kind of like why I wanted to talk about this one, because I've been so enjoying it, and it is a really, really good binge read. I have been reading it as it goes along, but I've gone back after every month and reread the previous issue, because I need to do that lately. My mind forgets things very easily, especially if you're reading a lot, I find. So I went back to reread the issue before, and So next Wednesday will be the final issue, so the part 5 of the second story arc. This is an ongoing series, so it's definitely something you want to get on board with, especially if you're a big fan of brutal fantasy. You know, there's a bit of that horror mixed in there because, as you know, Justin Jordan writes some fantastic horror. And he's got some new stuff coming out soon, I believe, too, that was whispered on the Twitters. So in the horror genre as well. So that'll be issue 11 out on Wednesday. Don't forget to grab it. And of course, you know, you can get the first story arc if you haven't read it in trade paperback. You know, I know that a lot of people are really bummed that floppies are kind of disappearing from shelves because of everything that happened with COVID. And, you know, there was the DC layoffs, and there's just been like a whole, the comic world was turned upside down yet again. And the best way we can combat that is to support people and buy our floppies. Then we can keep our floppies about. I don't see Image Comics doing away with floppies. They definitely had to cancel some that they thought were going to go to floppy, and they have since gone out as OGNs. But I don't think it's just going anywhere. So we need to go out and support our creators in order to make sure that we can keep floppies in the world, because, man, like, you know, if you want something to look forward to each and every week, the floppies, going to get your comic box was like the one thing you could look forward to every Wednesday, right? All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I am trying my hardest to do one video a week, and I've been reading a lot, so I feel like I can make it happen. They might not be the longest videos, but they're nonetheless kind of like a little deep dive into something that I've been reading, and that's my goal anyway. As usual, guys, you can check me out on the Twitters, the Instagrams, where I like to talk a little bit about what I'm reading. Also share some of my gameplay, which you guys know I'm playing Minecraft on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/thefrogqueen. And, you know, come hang out, talk comics, talk games, talk whatever. I don't care. I'm just there playing games and chatting with people in my spare time. So yeah, thank you so much for your support. Thank you to all my new subscribers, followers. Don't forget to hit the bell so that you can catch my new videos when they come out, because I know YouTube's algorithm is not great. Don't worry, I know. Anyways, thanks so much, guys. And until next time, read something good. Bye.